Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we're doing kind of a sit-down format video talking. And yeah, if you don't like these videos, tune out now because I don't even know what we're going to talk about.
No, not really.
This
It's
is-
kind of like Moto podcast almost. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
like a moto podcast, you know?
So we're just going to talk about maybe some of the things in the shop, maybe not. It's not really a shop update as much as just discussing things we got going on.
The wall.
Oh
the
yeah,
wall's done.
The mural got done,
Yeah.
so that's exciting. So my cousin finished this up.
Yeah.
I got to go get a plaque to kind of make sure she gets credit for doing this.
What do you mean? She signed.
Yeah, still haven't found the
It's like
signature.
that big. I'm like, I think
on a
the rock. It's like at the bottom. It's like real small. We're like, what are you doing? It's a mural. Put a
Yeah.
big signature.
And honestly, if you guys don't know how much work something like this mural is, it's quite incredible watching the whole process. I'm going to try to get her footage so I can maybe put something together of her whole process. But it was about 60 hours of total work put into this. And really, truthfully, probably more than that. So I ended up paying her about $30 an hour. So she made pretty good out on it. So hopefully she enjoys the new MacBook Pro.
Yeah. I don't even have one.
Yeah, I bought her a new one, and I don't even have a new one, so.
I said you sure went for that gold Dell.
That was gross. Ugh.
Oh, come on. That was like classic
Who wants
throwback.
a gold-plated
A gold
Dell Optiplex? Ugh.
But it was cheap.
Yeah. We also would like you to donate some funds so we can buy real chairs, because he's got these child camping chairs we're sitting in.
These are the most comfy chairs my wife has. I'm blaming the wife on the camp chairs. That's how much we go camping. They're not good chairs.
Well, yeah. I got spoiled because I got that real expensive one. But anyways, let's talk about something moto related before I go tangent on something unrelated. So let's talk about RAR Mantis real quick. So we've been kind of going, we've been doing a lot of RAR Mantis stuff. And a lot of that stems from a great relationship with the company. We've sold and dealt with a warranty claim already with RAR. So there's just some good things to talk about. So I'll start off with, we sold one of our bikes we had in stock to a customer. About 40 miles into riding the bike, it ended up having some sort of major malfunction. Basically, it would stutter, not run. Something was wrong with it. My personal guess was that the Hall effect sensor inside of the motor came loose or went bad. Who knows? And all that basically means is that the controller can no longer tell where the motor is in its travel. So it jerks and is pulling the wrong directions, not doing something that it should do. Yep. After we let RAR know, started a warranty claim process with them, so to speak. Customer ended up having to bring his bike all the way back here, and he lives out in what, Evergreen or something like that?
I don't know quite where. I think he's kind of moving around.
Yeah,
but
anyways,
yeah, he is pretty far away.
He lives north, far away, and I won't say the name, but there was another supposed RAR dealership up there that ended up not taking care of him and is no longer a dealer because they wouldn't warranty claim or even look at his bike. So he came back down here. We took care of him. We reached out to RAR, and after doing some diagnosing, we decided on, they sent him a whole new bike. That was awesome. That was really good to see because when you have problems, you know, these are new objects, and sometimes you just don't know exactly what's wrong with them. If it seemed like it was built on a Monday, somebody wasn't having a good day, sometimes it's best to just replace the product, and that's exactly what RAR did. I have to give them huge props for taking care of the customer. And then now they sent us some parts to see if we could figure out what was wrong with it. We threw a new motor in the defective unit, and it's good to go. Yeah. So it looks like all it was maybe the motor had some sort of issue. That's a pretty simple fix. So that's a great thing to see. I don't know of a lot of companies that really do that. RAR's trying to make a name for themselves. So that's good. We'll put that out there all day long.
Yeah, I do question whether Suron or Teleria, if a whole bike would come. I mean, maybe you'd get a motor, but would you get a whole bike?
Yeah, I don't know. and I feel like here in the United States, you're probably at the limitations of the main importer, which is Lunicycle. And I don't know if I have a lot of faith that they would be willing to send a new bike out to somebody. Maybe they would. I don't know.
Yeah, because that's bike plus shipping, plus a bike that you're probably taking from somebody else. getting a bike, possibly.
Yep.
So.
That's very good. And then I guess on the other front of RAR news, RAR is now stocking all of their extra parts in the United States. So they have a big warehouse, and anything that you need to order, wheels, tires, controller, motor, whatever, you're going to be able to order it. And it should be only a few days shipping, so you shouldn't have to wait 3-4 weeks for parts. That's pretty awesome as well. They're also working with Warp 9. There's some aftermarket batteries on the way, which I can't really talk about. RAR has their 72-volt batteries, which I hear are very soon in hand. I'm excited about that too. So there's a lot of good things coming from RAR.
But there's a different source for a battery that we can't talk about. So
yeah. We'll have more to come on that one. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or relationships.
Or ruin on somebody else's social media parade on announcing that.
Yeah.
So
sometimes we have big mouths sometimes. But so RAR overall, if you haven't checked them out, go look at them. I know, maybe on paper, Teleria Boys has done some, negative, subjective. The Mantis is a brand new product that is going through changes and tuning. So a lot of the Teleria Boys videos you'll see are not as favorable towards the RAR Mantis. I feel like the new tuning and everything that came out has really solved most of the complaints that they had. The only complaint I still agree with them about is that the battery is just too small. That's about it.
But the 72 volts should fix that.
Yes. The 72 volts total watt-hour output, if you will, is going to be equivalent to the MX-4. So I believe that it'll be a moot point here soon.
So then it just comes down to the different geometry, or the ergonomics? Ergonomics. Yeah, whatever it is,
Egonomics.
Ergonomics of the bikes versus the Sur-Ron, Teleria, and the Mantis. Mantis is still more like a dirt bike.
But yeah, it's more of a hybrid. We really like the geometry and the ergonomics of the Mantis. One, the Mantis comes with bar risers in the box, so you can actually raise the bars up to a normal kind of ride height.
And it's mounted directly to the triple clamp
versus
your typical mountain bike setup, which seems wonky on a heavy bike.
Yeah, it does.
And it gets by that stem.
Yeah, when it's on the stem, the stock MX4s, it just gets twisted around. I don't much care for that. So there's a lot less modifications, in my opinion, if you're going to trail ride an e-bike. The Mantis is a lot more ready out the box. It's got dirt-capable tires. In fact, we really like the tires on the Mantis.
Yeah, they're grippy, and then that's running with PSI in it too. That's not even airing down like you would traditionally do on a dirt bike. They work.
Pretty good. And I think another thing that lends to it is the frame stiffness. I think the whole chassis flexes a whole lot less than the Teleria does. It feels a lot more solid. I don't know. That's one of their claims at Mantis, and I do kind of feel it. I don't know how you would actually test that, but.
And I find when I'm going through the whoops pretty quick that the rear suspension works great. So I don't know. People talk about when you're doing jumps and the back comes down. I don't know. I don't feel anything. Fine, I don't know if that's a mountain bike thing that they're worried about. Oh, there's a noise and this and that. When you're coming from a dirt bike, there's a lot of noises. We don't worry about these things. We do know there are people that tend to be like, oh, there's a noise coming from the chain. And it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. I've been riding dirt bikes my whole life, so I can't hear that little noise you're talking about. But yeah, I'll look into it and see what we can do.
I think the biggest problem is that people, e-bikes are so quiet that people will complain about every little noise on them. And yes, the Teleria battery rattle is annoying. I will, I guess, cave on that one a little.
Well,
bit.
because that's way.
Yeah,
it stands out.
Yeah, that one's
and
shaking
you can kind
around.
of feel it. Yeah.
So, and that is one thing the Mantis does not have is any battery rattle. It does not have that. So.
It doesn't. And one thing that we haven't shown on video, maybe we'll do that at the end of this video, is show our Teleria battery going into the Mantis. Frame, because it does slide in with some modifications. It could work and fit. And I forget the spec of our battery.
I think it's a 60 volt, 53 amp hour battery. So yeah, a big 53 amp hour battery will, 60 volt wise, will definitely fit in the Mantis thing. And let's just say that stuff is definitely coming. I don't care about the voltage versus whatever, 72 or 60 volt. you know, I mean, for us as trail riders, you might actually get a little bit more motor torque from a 60 volt versus the 72. 72 is probably going to net you a little bit more top end horsepower, if you will. There's a whole complicated mess of going into how the motors work that I won't go into. But overall, it's good. All good things. The chassis is good to go. Their controller seems to be pretty solid. Their tuning is coming. We also got let know that there's going to be Bluetooth and wireless capabilities that are going to be enabled on the RARs here soon, so you can change the tunes a little bit easier than what we're doing right now. So yeah, good things. There's a lot of development. New products, you got to be patient with them. That's really what it comes down to. When you review things, you got to be open-minded. I think we're always pretty open-minded about products.
Yeah, I think the exciting thing will be the Warp 9
wheels
and just the other parts they come out with.
2118 wheels. That's all I ever want on these. I know they're big, they're heavy, whatever. I don't know.
They just roll over the terrain we're used to out here in Colorado with the rocks and they're called baby heads. You know, they're like so big, volleyball size, if you will. And yeah, it's just easier to roll over that stuff when you have bigger wheels.
You know, and maybe these companies should do like a package or something. Maybe the bike itself comes with no wheels in the crate. And then when a customer orders Supermoto wheels or 19-inch wheels or maybe a 21-18 set, there's like 3 different options, right? To where from the factory, maybe the dealers can be like, oh, well, this person is ordering, you know, maybe I order some that are Supermoto or some that are whatever, you know, that might be, I don't know.
Dirt-orientated version, yeah. Because we've had a customer that wants the Supermoto tires because he's going to mainly be on pavement, I guess. So, you know, unfortunately, it's not quite a thing yet.
Well, we'll change gears a little bit. This just popped into mind totally randomly. Is a little bit of an update on the 220 ride tires now that we've had a lot more, I'm going to say, testing and time using those tires. So we first started working with 220 ride probably, I don't know, close to 2 years ago now. I threw a set on the Beta 390 and well, let's just say I haven't got to ride the 390 a whole lot.
It disappeared.
In fact, maybe we'll talk about that next. But anyways, the 220 ride tires, we really like them. I think the fronts, everybody that we've sold fronts to, it has become a favorite among our small group of friends, single track squids. The front tires are really grippy here. And the rear tires are also very good, but they wear quickly. I think that's the biggest complaint between you and I know Brian Taylor was saying that the rear wears pretty fast. Although it seems that the 140 has less, the knobs aren't as thick.
Yeah, the knobs aren't as tall on the 140 because it's a FIM series tire for Europe for racing. They have to have shorter knobs.
Yeah, so the 120s have bigger knobs. I think which bike has it? Oh, the X Trainer has the 120. It seems like it's gonna last longer than what yours got chewed up pretty quick. But I seem like the last few rides that I've taken, it doesn't look like it's been chewed up quite as much.
Yeah, I think the 120 is where it's at for the 220 ride tires.
So 220 ride tires are great.
That's the semi-gummy.
Yeah, semi-gummies. Yeah, you're right. So. But otherwise, they hook up quite well. I mean, I don't have a lot of complaints about the tire as far as traction goes, and they're not an expensive tire. So
yeah, with how tires are nowadays, yeah, they're not that expensive, and you can get them.
Yep,
that's the other thing. A lot of the other companies you just can't get now.
Yep, and we have them in stock here. If you come in, we'll definitely we'll work with you on getting a set of tires. And here's the thing about tires: everybody likes to bitch about tires. Can I say bitch on here? I
don't know. I mean, yeah, sure. Why
Everybody
not?
likes to complain about tires. Oh, I don't like that tire. I only have this one tire that I buy. Try different tires. I mean, you know, a set of tires isn't going to last forever. We all know that. If you get out and ride for any length of time, even I go through tires. Except for unless it's a Sedona.
Oh,
okay,
Sedona.
maybe we don't. Okay, we don't go there.
Yeah, there's a tire you shouldn't run.
But yeah, try different tires out. You know, with the 220 rides, if you come in, buy a set of them. If you don't like them, you don't have to buy them again. But I guarantee you this: that they do hook up well here, and they do work very, very decent. So, you know, if it's not your jam, we can order you pretty much anything you want. Yeah, the only tire in recent times that I've bought that I've really hated is the Sedonas.
The Sedona.
I don't know why it exists.
Now, I don't know why that was highly recommended by a shopping in spring so heavily. years ago of, oh, this is the best tire, and it worked really good on dual sporting, but
Yeah, I guess
it's just once you get into that single track, and I guess your skills build, it just doesn't work.
yeah, I think as a dual sport tire, yeah, it probably is okay, I guess. If I looked at it as a 50-50 tire, the Sedona is probably okay. But I put one on our Riehu. It was recommended by a shop in town. I was in a hurry. We were going out to Moab, and I was like, hey, what tire do you guys recommend out in Moab? And they said Sedona, and I was like, throw one on. I don't have time to deal with it right now. And needless to say, I had regrets about that decision. But I didn't know. I have never personally run a Sedona, so now that I've run it, I know I don't like it. I wouldn't buy another one.
Yeah,
Yep.
it doesn't work for our type of riding, so.
If you're looking for a Sedona rear especially, let me know. You can get it for free.
Yeah, you can use up the rest of it. There's quite a bit
There's quite a bit left.
Yeah,
and there
it does
shouldn't
last
be.
a while.
It does last. Yeah, it's so hard. Oh, some GPX news, I guess. I don't know. News is always subjective. I get excited about this bike. Everybody was excited about the 300 two-stroke, which is out. It seems to be a really awesome bike. I know some of you guys have been asking when we're going to get one. It's on the list of things to do. We'll just put it in that category.
Right. Does somebody want to leave us some money?
Yeah.
That would speed things up
Not
a
an
bit.
endless pool of money, but one of my favorite bikes that GPX has done is the FSE 250E. So it's a 4-stroke 250 air-cooled engine. There's going to be a massive update for the next model year. That's exciting to me because I like inexpensive bikes that are a good value for those who want to ride. And the 250E sits around the $4,000 $4,000 mark. Like, I don't know.
Mike?
I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, it's a simple 2-valve carbureted air-cooled engine, but it's on a very capable chassis. It's a real dirt bike. Really, I've had it up Captain Jack's. We've taken these bikes up Dud Bob's here in Colorado. They are real capable bikes.
Mount Bros.
Mount Bros, yeah, all the way up to 14,000 feet plus. So, yeah, the update to the bike is going to be, I think they're going to a 4-valve head. It's going to be fuel injected. Some hate it, some love it. I think the fuel injection is going to be a wonderful thing. The carburetor that came on the 250E has been my biggest complaint. Not that it's a big deal. It's a $60 upgrade to the next carb. I just and it still works fine, I guess. I don't know. That's one of those points that how much do you want to complain about a $4,000 bike? So yeah, there's going to be a big update to that. The other GPX news is that Joe Henner, if you're not a GPX guy, you probably don't know. But he is kind of a god in the Chinese bike world for making upgraded parts. He does big bore kits for the GPXs, cams, timing keys. Anyways, he's working directly for GPX now, and you can get a bike totally built out from Joe Henner, straight from GPX now. That's pretty cool. I know he's doing a high compression head for the 2-stroke that he's about to roll out. So
Nice.
yeah, lots of cool stuff.
See, that's a company that's going in the right direction.
Yep. They're supporting their customers. They're getting more parts that they keep locally. Here recently, every time I've had to call and order parts from GPX, they've had them in stock. So that's gotten progressively better. And yeah, the company seems to be supporting more and more and more. So that's exciting. I know some people have commented on my GPX videos, oh, well, I bought a 250R when they first started and they stopped supporting the fuel injection system. Well, at the end of the day, smaller companies, here's the thing. You're almost always a beta tester for the company. And some choices are bad choices. We know, I mean, we know that in the business world. And yeah, you can't always support things when you make the wrong decision. You can do your best, and I think GPX has done their best to accommodate everybody in the space. But we have our 300 and 250E here. Still, we sold 2 of our GPXs, so we need to probably grab at least another one.
Maybe that would be a 2-stroke. Who knows?
Yeah.
Or maybe that would be the fuel-injected 250E.
Yeah, probably. I'll probably get the 250E no matter what. I'm kind of excited about those bikes.
So if you want a deal on the older 250E, which is not really that old, it's a 2022 with low miles.
Yep.
Yeah, hit us up and we might have one to sell you. Maybe you can fly in and ride even.
I think the
deal.
bike only has like 600 miles on it. So
Yeah,
renters don't, here's the thing, renters don't ever ride miles, you know, like you get hours and so maybe trail riding, but what we've really found is that most people that rent don't really ride much, which seems kind of odd given how expensive it is.
Yeah, and plus when I rode more dual sport stuff, I would just go ride and do 300-mile days. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's definitely a different crowd that are running. I think most of it's getting back into riding.
Yep.
Too, though. Let's see. The other bike we added to the fleet recently was the 2019 X Trainer, Beta X Trainer.
Yeah.
And so that's for rent. So you can come in, rent that 2-stroke. We also have the Riehu you can rent. So 2-strokes. So you and a buddy, there you go. 2-strokes. You can fly in and rent a couple bikes.
And if you're one of those skeptics that thinks the X Trainer is just a beginner's bike, you're absolutely wrong, and you should rent it just to prove yourself wrong. The X Trainer is what I've learned through riding it, because I've primarily been riding that the last few times I've gone out, is that it's a very misunderstood bike. Everybody looks at it as the beginner 2-stroke, and yes, it is technically detuned. It has less power than the 300RR, although it's less money, so we'll go down that route. But if you're an average trail rider and you're not racing enduro, even a spirited rider is going to enjoy the suspension on this. You know, the previous owner, Brian Taylor, he's a single track squids guy. I mean, he's not a slow rider. In fact, he's substantially faster, and he went and bought another X Trainer. So these are really capable bikes. There's tons and tons of torque down low on the X Trainer. When you're in gnarly hard stuff, I mean, you can just clutch out and just tractor. I absolutely love it. Sits a little bit lower, makes it a little bit more confidence inspiring if you're not as tall. So yeah, I mean, come try them out. The X Trainer has really kind of changed my whole thought process of how people viewed that particular bike.
Yeah, it's a nice little, I wouldn't say little. It's a nice bike. I know, that's the thing, right? People say, that's like, a nice little bike, but it's a cute bike, man. I mean, it's a 300cc bike.
It's a 302 stroke, and it is.
Come on now.
So
yeah, it's a good bike.
And in fact, we had another customer that bought a skid plate for a new one, and he was obviously a new rider, so probably a decent choice for a 302 stroke, although it's still got some balls to it, so I don't know if I'd call it exactly beginner friendly. But overall, he got it because you can easily lower the bike 2 inches without any modifications. He was a short guy. This is a guy that he doesn't know how to work on anything. He didn't even know what a socket or a spanner is. And I'm not making fun of him because it's good for businesses like us to encourage new riders that maybe have no understanding of anything, of how to work on your bike, how to put a skid plate on, learning to go out there and ride your new 2-stroke. That was an exciting opportunity for us.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, he was a real nice guy that came down here. We put on the skid plate. We actually just did it for free even. And he still offered to pay and what have you. We actually turned down his money, but he was just pretty cool. So
yeah, I like that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
but it was exciting to see a new X Trainer too.
We're still selling Quiet Cats. So we have, I get a laugh over there. Well, we have 2 Villagers and we have a Rubicon and an Ibex. So offer us a deal on those and we'll probably move on from that and concentrate more on the electric dirt bikes.
Yeah, I think we're a little bit more into the dirt bike scene than we are the pedal assist and stuff. And here's my thing, especially if Quiet Cat's washing for no reason, but they're great bikes and they're built really well. They're a lot of fun. It really is an absolutely outstanding product. The issue is we're not marketing exactly to that crowd, and it hasn't been super popular because I think a lot of that has slowed down since the end of COVID. People aren't buying the e-bikes quite as much, the pedal assist specifically. That's part of the problem. The other issue is pricing's kind of all over, and I'm not going to totally blame Quiet Cat for this. It's more of I think they have so much stiff competition from China that they have to be kind of all over, which, I mean, it's hard for a small shop like us to keep up with.
Yeah, because they'll put a sale on, and we're like, well, there's another sale, and they'll make it right for the percentages we need and stuff. But at the end of the day, it gets confusing. If I make a flyer that says X amount and then 2 days later they have a sale that's lower than that, how can I advertise? It makes it really, really difficult.
Yeah.
So that's why it's pretty much like we have 2 unused villagers. I mean, if you came in here right now and said, hey, my husband, husband and wife couple comes in and they want 2 villagers, it's below our cost, but I'd probably do $1,900. Why? Because we just need them moved.
Yeah.
And that's each, $1,900 each, not together.
Yeah.
Don't want to get somebody too excited out there, but that's a great deal because they want like $2,800 right now for 1 bike. Mm-hmm. And we're willing to just say, you know what, time to move on. They're not really our cup of tea. They're a lot of fun, but we have a lot of hobbies, both of us.
Yeah,
and
we
like trying to ride, trying to do the e-bike stuff, trying to just do other things in life. It's just becoming too full, to be honest. I mean, we had grand plans on, hey, we're going to do all these videos of the worst case. And I got out and I did the Rubicon. But at the end of the day, I can't do that all the time like I thought. So.
Well, and it is. We do social media as much as we do normal shop. But we do have a shop, and somebody's got to be here, and then we do go ride. So it's always a matter of, well, what bike do I want to choose to ride or do a video on when we go out? There's only so much time, and our main group and focus is really truthfully dirt bikers. So whether that's electric or gas, dirt bikes are where it's at for us because that's our main hobby. That's what we enjoy doing.
That's what we know a lot about. You asked me about derailers and stuff. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's real hard for me to do videos on those just because it's not my passion, I guess. So.
Yeah.
But nothing wrong with the brand.
No, nothing wrong with the brand. It seemed like a good company. They want to do things right by their dealers by giving you that margin no matter where their price is at that they do for a sale, but it just makes it difficult. That's all, really. And if they're watching, it just makes it really hard to know what to price it at.
Yeah. But not everything works for a business. You learn that. You learn that quickly. Is some things will be great, some things won't. So as we move around and as the word gets out more, rentals have been picking up more. We're starting to see what people actually want to be renting. We still continuously get questions on GPX, both good and bad, I guess, sometimes. I've had a few people reach out about why we use rider share, and we've kind of beat that horse to death, but insurance. That's really the main.
And it's usually the person complaining is the one that doesn't have a motorcycle endorsement.
Yeah, that happens.
And it's like, it is what it is. Sorry, we're covering you plus us by going through a third party like RiderShare, kind of like if those people that want to rent their spare car out through Toro. You're not just going to be like, hey, you don't have a driver's license? Okay,
go ahead,
rent my Ferrari or whatever. It's just not going to happen. So we have to have some protection, and then that kind of weeds out people. It just does.
And we don't want, another thing that I personally don't want too is I don't want somebody who doesn't know how to ride take one of my bikes out. I'm sorry, I just don't want that. I've witnessed firsthand from another individual what that looks like. And it's just not something that I want to do to the customer or the bikes. Because in my opinion, somebody renting a bike for the first time to learn how to ride, they may not actually know what's involved or understand how much they can hurt themselves. It could be pretty dangerous. And that could lead to where we get sued. That could lead into all kinds of things that I don't want to deal with. Right. I don't want a broken bike. I don't want to get sued. I don't want to,
I don't want somebody to get injured because
that's true.
It's just.
I offer to help teach people how to ride on my own time. I've always been happy to do that. I've learned that I can't do that en masse. We just don't have time. Once again, time. So, what other new products have we got in? Lock straps?
Lock straps, we got in lock straps. They're pretty awesome. We use them to secure our bikes here, and when we put them outside or what have you, they have a 24-foot lock strap. So that's pretty cool. And their normal one I think is 8.5 foot long. I use those typically in the bed of my truck for if I'm going across country or whatever. I can just toss it on the bike. It's just going to confuse somebody. I did a whole video on these like 10 years ago or whatever it was. Maybe it was 5 years ago. And, you know, is it going to stop somebody? No. Nothing's going to stop somebody. It's just going to confuse them because they see a strap. They're going to say, I'll just cut that with my knife. And when it doesn't cut and they get flustered because it's most likely probably nighttime in a dark parking lot in like a hotel, you know, they're just going to get confused. Maybe the bike falls over and that's it. You know, they run away. They don't know what was going on. And then that's the end of it. You know, you thwarted a, am I saying that right?
Thwarted, yeah.
Thwarted a, you know, theft. Yeah, it's just a theft deterrence. Where I think if, it goes the same when I use my cable lock. Do they work? Yes, if you're using them right. I usually hide that up under the bike on my hitch carrier. So they see all these straps, there's a lock strap tossed in there, confuse them, and then there's that hidden up underneath the frame to the hitch carrier that they're probably not going to see at night. And even if they did all the other straps, that might just make them drop the bike. It's upside down. Now they're confused. They made noise and they run the hell out of there, and your bike is still there.
Yep.
And even though my bikes are insured, it's just, you know, when you're on a trip, you don't want to lose your bike.
Yeah, no, that's true. And they work. I mean, they work as advertised. They're also decent quality, I think, and the price isn't too bad. So, yeah, I mean, he's been using lock straps for a long time. I'm going to be using them in my truck from here on out. I like the whole idea of it. Once again, like even if you went to hardened chain and a real like
somebody's gonna say grinder, right?
You know, there's always a list of things. At the end of the day, it's all delaying the inevitable, so to speak. I guess.
A guy that's a professional thief, you're not stopping him. He probably has his bed of his truck full of like various things to get in. But somebody just kind of like, hey, I'm gonna steal that because it's easy. Yeah, they're not going to have all the tools. And are they going to come back after they screw up? Most likely not, unless you're staying there multiple days. And then why would you leave your bike there after you found it one attempt?
Yeah.
You know, like, no.
And I've left my extra bikes lock strapped up to the RV, so.
And I guess this is where we can go back to the electric, because electric, you could probably get away with just walking it right into the hotel.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to guess. Has anyone done that that's watching this? Because let us know in the comments. Because
I probably would.
Yeah, just walk right by the desk even. It's an e-bike. Mm-hmm. There's no fuel.
Plus, on top of that, there's, you know, the fact that you can just pull the battery out of your e-bike anyway. So that makes it significantly more interesting to steal. Yeah, can they roll it away? Probably still, but if we're honest, most of the cost of the bike's the battery anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, a $2,000 battery, yeah, have fun replacing that.
Yep. So, yeah, that's a good one. I was trying to think what else, what other things have we added to our, we have dual sport helmets now.
Oh yeah, dual sport helmets.
Yeah, so those are Nolan, right?
Yeah, Nolan X something.
N7 something, I don't know.
I got an idea. We'll cut.
Oh, God.
I'm in here touching myself. Oh, am I on mic?
Those mics work far away. There it is.
Hey, here it is.
N70X. N72X. Okay.
Yeah. So this is it. The Nolan dual sport helmet. Yeah, come in. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's very modular. You can take off the chin. You can run it like that. It has a visor here. I have to try to remember how that goes up. Yeah, there's a little slidey switch. Oh, right. Okay, so you slide it like that, and you can click it one click, and it goes back up. And then you have this visor. And they say there's 8 helmets in one, because you can take off the dirt, rock, shield. You can take this off, or you can leave this on.
You can take the drop shield down and run goggles if you want to.
There we go.
They're a cool helmet. And they're pretty comfortable too, and they're not super heavy. They're actually probably one of my favorite looking dual sport helmets.
And the venting's pretty cool too, because it's all individual. You got 3 buttons, one there, and then one there. So airflow. Oh, and also it works with the Nolan intercom system.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Yeah, that's cool.
So,
Never played with that. Didn't know it was a thing.
didn't know it was a thing either. So yeah, I'm very excited about these. This is definitely something I would get if I was getting back into the street bike, especially the adventure. Because yeah, if I just want to do street bike, take off this big rock shield there, and then it's just like a normal helmet.
Yeah, and I may end up buying one. I'm a huge hater of the goggles, so we may end up running one of those.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
so good choice.
That's kind of a.
And they're not that crazy expensive either.
Nope.
I forget what the price is, but
I don't
because that's a new
either,
product,
yeah.
I don't remember because I didn't tag it yet.
Too many things. Everything runs together these days.
Yeah, so if you call and try to ask us for a price, we're gonna have to look it up. To be honest.
And we do that because we can give you a better deal. So some patience goes a long way with us. You'll win in the end, I promise.
Yeah, because I'll look up what our cost is, and then what the retail cost is, and then we'll come to an understanding. Yeah.
We're further along in adding, I'm going to say, dog food and dog treat stuff. So
yeah, the furry friends.
Yeah.
What can I say that? That sounds
well.
bad.
That's the name of a local business. I don't know.
Is there really?
Yeah.
Okay. Do not Google that.
Yeah.
Please come down to A&M Moto
Yeah.
Toys for your pets' needs.
So we're getting ready to do more dog, cat food options,
Toys.
and toys, as well as some treats. All high quality stuff. So I'm not doing like, Purina and I'm stuff. This is all small. I'm going to call them micro brands. I don't even know if that's a correct term, but these are all smaller companies that use real food, real ingredients, less fillers, so on and so forth. So we want to encourage people to try and get healthier dog foods themselves. We'll give you a great deal. Come in here. We're going to try to get on an ordering cycle to where if you come in here and you're like, hey, I need a 40-pound bag of this food every month, then we can do that. As well as having treats that are rawhide free and locally sourced, so on and so forth. So I'm excited to start adding that. I'm a huge dog person, obviously. Everybody that rides pretty much, and that's outdoors type people, we all have dogs, we all have animals, so.
The funny thing is, a delivery guy comes in today, and he's like, am I in the right space?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are. His look was blank, like, I'm not understanding.
It is a little strange, but for us here in Monument, Colorado, nobody else really does it, and it's something that I have at least a fair bit of knowledge about and some contacts within the industry. So with the right hookups, it kind of benefits everybody because coming here, you can get your dog food, whatever else, grab a helmet. I don't know.
You can also bring your dog into here.
Oh yeah, dog friendly.
Yeah, dog friendly. Hell, bring your cat in. I don't care.
Yeah,
bring your hamster. I don't really care. Your turtle, whatever.
So
we're pet friendly.
Yeah, combining some things that we enjoy together, but. Yeah, check that out for sure. I think we're going to be adding some options that you'll be able to look at.
So y'all take care, stay well, and until stop.
Take the cock out of your mouth.
See, I did a Joe Biden there. The brain just stopped. Not to get political, but have a good one. Until the next time, out.